Good morning, students. Now we are going to learn today voice. The chapter voice. It is for the class 7th. Student, as you know that there are two types of voice. Voice in Hindi it is called vachi. There are two types of voice. First, active voice and second, passive voice. When it is called active voice, when a subject of a sentence performs the work, performs action, is called active voice. For example, here one example is given: Ram obeys elders. So who obeys? Ram. Here the subject is Ram and Ram is doing the action, that means obeying. So it is in the active voice. But when the subject receives the action, do not perform the action, but it receives the action, it is called in the passive voice. For examples, elders are obeyed by Ram. Now you see, here the subject is elders, and elders are not performing any work. They are receiving the action. That means they are being respected. They are being respected by Ram. That's why it is called the passive voice. So when the subject performs any action is called active voice, and when subject receives any action is called passive voice. Now the question is that how will change or how will write active to passive or passive voice? That means how will change from active to passive, or whenever there is any need, how will we write the passive voice? So by this example, we can understand some rules of changing from active to passive voice. You see here, in the active voice, Ram is the subject, and here it has become the object. So the first rule is that the subject of active voice becomes the object of the passive voice, as Ramu is the subject, and in passive voice it has become the object. Second is that object of the active voice becomes the subject of the passive voice. Now you see, in active voice, Ramu obeys elders. Elders are the object. In the passive voice, elders are obeyed. Here elders become the subject. Third, always the main verb is used in the V3, that means the past participle form. Elders are obeyed. Here V3 has been used. So with a suitable example, a suitable auxiliaries, like here the auxiliary is are. That's why. In that way, it is the rules of changing from active to passive. And fourth and last is that by is used before agent, or we can say before object. By is used before that, like elders are respected, by Rams is here, by has been used. Just let me adjust the camera. Now you see, we are going to see how to change that process tense wise, changing from active to passive. It is the basic and it is the first step. We should know that how tense wise the active to passive voice is changed. So let's understand it. Here simple present tense, Ram plays football. You see how that is passive voice is written. Football is played by Ram. In the second, Ram is playing football. Here, football is being, B form, ing has been used, is being played by Ram. Ram has played football. Football has been played by Ram. In present tense, it is 3 only. Why? That we will discuss in the last. Second, in the past tense, Ram played football. Football was played by Ram. I think we have marked the difference. In the simple present tense, it is and here it's was. This is the only changing. Ram was playing football. Football was being played by Ram. Here changing is was. Here is and here was. Third, Ram had played football. Football had been played by Ram. It is all about the past tense. Now come to the future tense. Ram will play football, simple future. Football will be played by Ram and Ram will have played football, future perfect. Football will have been played by Ram. As you know, student, that generally there is no passive form of perfect continuous tense and future continuous. So perfect continuous tense, three tense comes in perfect continuous: present perfect, past perfect and future perfect. And future continuous tense, it has generally no passive form. Nowadays in many of the grammar books there are some changing that they are making this into passive form. Later on we'll learn that, but till now this is up to here. It is in the first video, and in the second and subsequent video we'll see the next rules of active to passive voice. Thank you.